what's up? It's Sarah. You'll probably notice that I'm in a different location. You'll also probably notice that I have not uploaded a video in a while. That's because I was moving and things got a little crazy in my life, but I am back. I have not actually read that much this year so far. In February, I think I finished like one book maybe, and I don't think I have finished any books in March because things have been crazy. But in December and January, I completely reread all of the Harry Potter books. The fifth book is not here currently. It's at my old place, but just go with it. So today I wanted to make a video about rereading Harry Potter as an adult. I have kind of a unique perspective on this because the first time I read the Harry Potter books, I read all of them at once, and I think I was about 22, 23 maybe. So I already was an adult the first time that I read the Harry Potter books, but reading them as a 30-year-old was a very different experience for me than it was the first time. And I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. So I went back and forth between the audiobooks and these awesome paperback versions. I really love the cover art on all of these. I think they are super cool. The guy Jim Dale, who narrates all of the audiobooks, he is absolutely fantastic. I would definitely recommend listening to those. He does all of the voices. There's so many characters throughout this series, and I feel like he gives each one a distinct voice, a distinct accent. When you're listening to it, you almost completely forget that someone is actually reading a story. One thing that I had forgotten is the sheer amount of details from the books that they left out of the movies. I've seen the movies more frequently than I've read the books, so I was, more familiar with the movies, really. The first two movies, they were pretty true to the books, but I feel like from the third one on, they really left out, huge, important chunks. And of course you have to do that with a movie adaptation because not everything is going to work on the screen. And, if they really had been true to the fourth book, it would have been, a 6 or 8 hour long movie, and you can't do that. So all things considered, I think they did do a pretty good adaptation, but it was interesting to go back and read, all the detailed plots. I actually didn't like Harry as much this time around reading the books. Especially once you get to the fourth and the fifth book, and I feel like he's really teen angsty, especially in the fifth book. I feel like he gets really whiny, and I understand why. I mean, if I had been through everything he's been through, I would probably be whiny too, but it still kind of annoyed me more this go round than it had before. I really connected more with Lupin and Sirius this time around, and their deaths really hit me harder this time than it did the first time. I mean, it was sad the first time, but kind of having the more adult perspective made me connect more with the adult characters. I mean, 22, I feel like is still pretty young. I feel like I was still connecting with the teenage characters at that point in my life. I remember the first time around really loving Snape and his kind of redemption, but this go around reading it, I was really struck by how much of an asshole he is throughout the whole series, and it takes a really long time for him to be redeemed. I do still love him as a character. I think he's very well drawn out and very complex. Another thing I noticed this time around was that Dumbledore was kind of an asshole too. I mean, I feel like there were so many things that he could have told Harry and it would have made it easier, but it seems like he was just really keeping him in the dark throughout the whole series. And sometimes it seems like he had good reasons for that, but sometimes it really doesn't. It was really amazing to go back and reread these books, though. They are still some of my favorite books, and they have really inspired me as a writer. I feel like every time I read them, I'm completely immersed in this world, and it reminds me of kind of the magic of storytelling in a way, And it's a huge inspiration to me as a writer. I really hope to write worlds that other people can escape into in that way. So it was interesting to read it also from more of a writing perspective, with everything that I have learned as a writer and looking at it in a more craft sense and seeing how she built up the world that she did and how she put in aspects of character development and foreshadowing and how she used subtext and symbolism. I don't know that I noticed all of that before the first time I was reading it. A side note, I also retook the Sorting Hat quiz from Pottermore, and I feel like the first time I took that quiz, I was a Hufflepuff, but this time I was a Ravenclaw, which actually makes more sense to me. I am bookish and nerdy. I feel like I would be hanging out with Luna Lovegood. Like, I feel like that's where I would be. So what about you guys? Have you reread Harry Potter at different points in your life? And if so, how did it change for you reading it from one age to another? I'm really curious to hear about that, especially those of you who kind of grew up reading the books. I was sort of late to the party. I didn't read them until later in life. Also, I would love to know what your house is. Alright, that's it for me in this video. I'm going to try really hard to get a writing video of some kind up before the end of March. We will see how that goes, but I will definitely be back next month with at least 3 or 4 videos. Thank you so much to everyone who has stuck around, even though I've been kind of, infrequent about my uploading videos. If you'd like to see more videos about books, writing, or music, you can always subscribe to my channel. I would definitely appreciate that. And until next time, thanks for watching.